There you go. Sometimes rumours are true. Well, unless they're about me, in which case they're not true. There's no foundation in anything that's said about that whatsoever. But in terms of us hiring, signing, recruiting, whatever it is, a director of football, that's true. We were linked to him for the best part of a month, and it's actually happened. This is good news. Let the games begin. Well, I don't mean the actual football games. I mean the signing of players. That's it. Nothing to hold it up anymore. Let's get it done. He's here with a massive, heavy portfolio of players that he wants to sign. I'll tell you what else he's got. A bloody massive scarf. Have you seen any pictures of him? Almost every picture I see of him, he's got this massive grey scarf. It's like an elephant's wrapped his trunk around his neck. Do you remember when Jose Mourinho joined the Premier League? He came with a grey coat. It was a big grey coat, wasn't it? Anyway, I don't know if Tim's bringing his scarf. He probably can at the moment. The way the weather's dropped. But he's here. It's really good. And we've been linked with a load of players. And you know what? I think, for me anyway, I'm feeling quite excited about the whole process. I'm feeling that there might be some truth in some of the rumours and some of the players we might be signing. There's one in particular that's got me really excited. I'm going to talk about him in just a second. I should probably point out that the club have been quite smart with this in as much as they've got David Moyes to make a statement as well. So by David Moyes making a statement, it shows unity. It shows that there's a sort of combined team. And also Tim Steidten, he mentioned David Moyes in his statement as well. So David Moyes was very on the front foot in as much as he was welcoming Steidten in and saying, we welcome you to the club. And Steidten was saying, I'm looking forward to working with the chairman and the coaching staff and the manager. There's a lot of platitudes get trotted out. And there's a lot of cliches. I would expect that. It's just press talk, but it's what they do that's going to interest me. And it's the players that he brings in. I know I mentioned it in yesterday's video. I don't want to see any more of this, James Ward-Prowse talk. I want young, exciting players who I know very little about, and I'm going and researching. I'm going to get to one of those straight away now because I've actually clicked up his details. This kid is brilliant. Matheus Franca from Flamengo. Wow. And now we've been linked with this guy. Apparently Crystal Palace and Newcastle are both interested in him. Well, Newcastle have actually bid for the kid, and Flamengo turned it down. He's the label was he's labelled the next Vicinius Jr. Now he's quite good. If you've seen, they got knocked out. But anyway, I've watched a bit of Real Madrid in the Champions League this season and last season. He's electric. He's absolutely brilliant, isn't he? There was a great battle, I think, was between him and Carl Walker in the Champions League this season. Was brilliant. I've had a look at him. Okay, it's only footage from their league, but my words, he seems prodigiously talented. He looks really, really good. And I think for too long, we've not only turned our nose up at the best talent from South America, but there's almost a sense of snobbery. You look at him and think, well, it doesn't matter. It's only a bit of, that's just how he's playing over in the Brazilian leagues. And, even just looking at footage now, I've been looking at looking at a lot of the official footage from the Brazilian league. And I think there's a tendency to say, it doesn't really matter, that doesn't count. But I think we're on our own in doing that. The Spanish clubs certainly don't do that with the Brazilian talent. The Portuguese clubs certainly don't do it. And that's why we end up seeing these players. And by the time they've settled, you can't actually buy them. You get one chance to buy these players from Brazil. And we need to start getting in there and doing it early. If we signed this kid, it'd be a very, very exciting signing. He's as skillful as anything I've seen. He's fast, he's strong. Doesn't seem to go down easily either. Seems to rely on his skill and his strength. Even if he is hacked, he sees it as an opportunity to do another nutmeg, to do another pass. It looks very, very good. If there's any truth in this, I'll be absolutely delighted. Seems to be able to play right wing, left wing, through the middle. Amazing. Looks to be an amazing player. Harvey Barnes, I don't want to go into too much detail. We discussed him yesterday. That would be really good. Alex Scott. I'd love to sign that player. I really, they call it the Bristol. They call it the Bristol City Jack Grealish, or is it just the Bristol Jack Grealish? Whatever it is, any kind of Jack Grealish ain't bad, is it? No, I mean, let's be fair. And anyone, the Grimsby Jack Grealish, any Jack Grealish is probably not a bad footballer. So I've looked at him again. It's all right. What you got? You got footage from the EFL, but looks a really, really good player. And as somebody told me. a couple of days ago. I think it was Football Manager said he's going to be the best player in the world in 5 years, so that'll do us, won't it? He's really good. Looking forward to hopefully getting something like that over the line. Central midfield, the waters are a little bit more murky. So you'll know this guy, Edson Alvarez. He's the Mexican midfielder, plays for Ajax, was rumoured to be going to Borussia Dortmund. They've pulled out. Don't know why, and lots of different reasons why. Depending on what website you read, what newspaper you read, they've all got a different reason. Maybe they just got a bit rich. Maybe they couldn't afford him. We were rumoured to be interested in him. A very good player, a top quality player. A couple of years younger than Polina, and I think a little bit more expansive as a player. He's carries a little bit more of a passing range than Polina, and he can do all the defensive stuff and all that sort of stuff that he can do as well. He's a little bit quicker as well, and I do think that's going to be key. That's one thing I keep hearing about this West Ham Way 2.0. The all new improved. That's what I call it. The all new improved West Ham. Wants pace. I'm really pleased. Look, I bored you silly. I know I have. If you're a regular watcher, you know I bore everyone silly. We're talking about pace. I want fast players. I just think we've been damn slow for years. We tend to carry one or two at most fast players, and I just think in the way we play, the team would really benefit from some rapid players. It was quite interesting looking at a list of free transfers that are available now. Saw it on Sky Sports and someone posted it on the Hammers Chat Patreon WhatsApp group as well. I was sort of looking through that. That's quite interesting. Maybe that's a video for another day, but I don't want to do it today because I don't feel like it's real. I don't feel like it's appropriate. However, there is one I will mention off that free transfer list because I've just got to just call it for what it is. There were suggestions that Wilfried Zaha might be was having talks with West Ham. He's available on a free transfer, just in case you don't know, from Crystal Palace. I've mentioned him a few times, actually, recently, haven't I, in regard to him wanting to go to Italy. Or Italy clubs wanting him, they just can't afford him. Really good player. Really good. I just moans. He don't stop moaning. Can you imagine him? What's the geezer's name? Fernandez at Man U and Mikel Arteta in a room together. That'd be a lot of moaning going on. There would be a lot of moaning and falling over going on, really. But anyway, he can't come to West Ham. All right, he can't come to West Ham. Him and David Moyes don't get on for reasons that I don't want to be so crass as to mention the reasons, but Patrice Evra described why David Moyes, why Wilfried Zaha couldn't come to West Ham. Put it that way. They didn't get on. Him and David Moyes didn't get on at Man United. Put it that way. If you want to know any more and you don't really know why, and you're thinking, hold on, this all seems a bit cryptic, go and Google it. Patrice Evra, David Moyes, go and Google it. You'll find the story within a matter of seconds. But I just thought, whoever's written this story, and it was a story in one of the newspapers. It was I don't want to say which newspaper it was in case I got it wrong. But it was in one of the major newspapers, one of the big ones. I thought, you've not done your research here very well. There is no way that even if Tim Steidten said, I'm going to get that player on a free transfer, David Moyes wouldn't play him. He wouldn't even be anywhere around near the squad. I mean, it probably forced the issue where David Moyes would have to leave, put it that way. It ain't happening. Maybe, I'll tell you what, the best case scenario is we were interested, and then when Tim Steidten came into the club, someone said, oh, Tim, we can't, no. And then he was probably told the story, and then even Mr. Steidten with his big scarf, as I tell you what, David Moyes would be taking that scarf, be wrapping it around Wilfried Zaha's neck, wouldn't he? There's a lot of scarf there, actually. It's an impressive scarf. Anyway, I think that's us done for today. I'm really looking forward to it. There's going to be loads of transfer gossip this week because we've got a director of football, and I think maybe, just maybe, even as I release this, Sunday, Monday, I'll release it on Sunday. Within the next 24 hours, 48 hours, I think the Declan Rice deal gets concluded. And then we've got money. We've got a director of football, money to spend. What's not to like?